I wrote Counting Down the Days at least a year and a half into making the record. Everyone knows I took far too long. And I was really frustrated and felt like I was never going to finish the album. I was a little bit down and I hadn't seen my husband in months. So the song ended up being about missing him. And also emotionally, the frustration I was feeling kind of went into it as well, of not finishing the album. Because when I had my final 16 that I had to reduce down to 12 songs, I listened through to them, and so much of it was about love and longing, and that title, it fit all the songs, but not only that, it's also this expectation in it, so it's not a negative title. And I like the fact that anyone who hears it can relate it to their life, so I think that's really good for an album that's not that anyone can relate to. So, and the meaning keeps changing, you know, so it's timeless. So that's why. I think the production's really great on it. My husband did it. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, but he's just tries new things, and it's just very fresh, I think. It's got my favourite sound in the second verse. There's this, it's cello, and he put it through some weird distortion, or I don't know what, I don't understand, but it sounds like a whale or something. It's really cool. So I just like that he tries different things. Well, yeah, a lot of love songs. It's kind of annoying, to be honest, sometimes, because you're consumed by something, and you write another one, you're like, another love song, here we go. So sometimes that's frustrating, because you want to break out of that, but, you know, it's good as well, I guess. You've got to write about what's true. The way I see it is, if that's what I'm going through, if that's what I'm feeling, why fight against that and try and write about something just to write about something different? I mean, there's so many love songs, and there's so many different ways of expressing it. I'm quite confident that there's a few singles on this album, but what's difficult is when you have one that does really well in the airplay charts, it sticks around so long that trying to put another one out can be difficult, so you have to kind of wait a bit longer. But, I mean, it's a good problem to have, I guess. Well, the video, I originally just felt the song should be pretty literal and a day in the life of, and showing the repetition of getting up, going to work, doing a thing which everyone can relate to. And Giuseppe came up with the idea of showing the different days in a sequence, so repeating the same action with different lighting and different outfits, and I just thought he took my idea and ran with it and made it so much better. So, yeah, it's like a little movie. I like making mini movies when I do videos. I can't help but involve myself, much to everyone's annoyance. The most important thing, well, I always like someone to understand from my point of view what the song's about and what I'm trying to do and make it better. And that's what he did. He took an idea that I had that was pretty simple but important, and then came up with a little twist that made it really clever. Far too many, yeah. That was a bit of a nightmare, because normally I just wear one outfit, and we had to think of... I mean, nobody wears 5 different pairs of pyjamas, so that was kind of funny. And but it was good, because when I'm performing in the video, it's just very simple, but then when I'm playing a character, I don't necessarily treat it as literally me, so I can play around with what she wears and how she is, and that's just me being a frustrated actress, really. Definitely not. Although, we tried to keep it ambiguous. I didn't want the character to have a job that people really wouldn't believe that I do, because you couldn't really tell. It was an office setup, but I didn't want to make it too obvious. Otherwise, people wouldn't buy it. So, but you didn't buy it anyway. Oh, Linda's upset. Linda does my makeup. And she thought she got a cameo. She was in the background, and as Gael, who does my styling, and they got edited out, so they're very disappointed. But I can't remember anything else apart from being freezing cold and having to do outside shots and be cold. That's it. No, that's weird for me. It's not why I do it. As long as it's selling enough that I can keep making records. It's always nice to get good news, but I really don't pay too much attention to that. As long as there's people out there that are getting something from what I'm doing, that makes me happy. I'm not on some mission to sell the most records. I'm not on some mission to be the top of the charts. I just want to, have a career doing what I love doing, and that's the honest truth. So, if you start focusing on that, then you can. It can take you into a very weird place. So. Not after I finish it. In fact, on Necker Island, someone had it on their iPod in their playlist, freaking me out, so I made them take it off.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm on holiday. I don't want to listen, You live with it so closely for 3 years. I mean, when it's done, it's for everyone else then. And I still enjoy performing it and touring it, but listening to the actual album, only to remind myself of how the words go. As many as I'm allowed. I mean, as long as people are still into it. Mm. I don't know. To be honest, there's 3 or 4 that I think could be. It depends how this one's received, and then you don't pre-plan all the singles.
Sure.
We do completely different things, and it'll be funny. We might do it for a laugh one night. We might get up and do karaoke.
But we'll never get
But
there.
no. And if we ever did, it would just be mucking around and no one would ever hear about it, so. It's always rockier with me. A lot of my bands are metalheads, so that tends to influence the way we do live. And I like to rock out a bit more as well. But it's just great to have the choice of 3 albums. And it just means you don't have to do as many ballads, which keeps the energy up, depending on what you're doing.
Sure.
If you're doing festivals, you don't want to have too many slow songs. But we've been in rehearsals, and I'm really happy with the songs, and yeah, it's a good set.
Okay.
For the songs that I make, it just works better on stage. Because, I started writing this album, and I had a lot of rockier songs, and I don't know, I think on albums my voice just sounds better with less going on around it. Doesn't mean I'll never try it, but thus far it hasn't really worked. I don't know, I think there's not many women who can rock out successfully. What acting career? I don't have any time. I'm doing a film. After I finish the tour, I'm doing an independent film in Australia.
Okay.
And that's all I know, really. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really scared, but I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. Well, I don't flip between the two because it's impossible. I've tried auditioning while I'm making a record, and it's literally, it's still a very natural form of expression for me, but to go from something that's all-consuming and try for a week to be all-consumed by something else, I find that really hard. I don't know how people do it. So I would have to take a break from music to pursue film properly, and I'm just not ready to do that, so that's why I make little movie videos.
Sure.
I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I still feel very new to it. So I'd like to make a folk album, like a really broken down acoustic-y album one day. There's loads of things I'd like to try with it, but we'll see. Feels like I am, though. My first album, when I got my record deal, I'd only just started songwriting, so yeah, there's so much to learn, and each album I get more confident and more involved in how it's produced and the direction it takes. So, I mean, you enjoy something more when you learn more about it. So, as an artist, yeah, definitely. Well, you'd want to hope so. I hope I have.
Definitely.
I think it's mainly the confidence. You trust your decisions more. Whereas before you'd be like, oh, what would I know? What do you think? Whereas, you know, now I'm quite sure about how something should feel or sound, and that's a nice feeling. So I think it'll just get more enjoyable.